In your headlines, RBC announced donations to 8 Caribbean conservation charities. Government is finally sharing their stance against the major spike in violent crime. And the Sandals Foundation is expanding its conservation goal. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providencial is your #1 source for news. I'm Erica Pinales, delivering the latest from across the country this Tuesday, April 26, 2022, right to your door. Newswatch starts now. Weeks after countless armed robberies and a number of murders, as well as a ruthless 3-day shootout in 5 Keys, government is finally sharing their stance against the major spike in violent crime in the TCI. Take a look.
Roughly there are 400 police officers in Turks and 800 security officers. So together, that is 1,200 pairs of eyes that have been properly trained and properly coordinated, working with the police, will help to enhance the security of our Turks and Caicos Island.
And then there's this.
The first place, crime is asymmetrical. The police can't be everywhere at every time for every crime. It's just not going to happen.
Weeks after residents called for action by law enforcement and heads of government in addressing the spike in crime, Premier and co-chair of the National Security Council, Honorable Charles Washington Mizik, has finally broken his silence, calling the issue complex and multifaceted.
Mr. Speaker, much has been done, and much is being done as in the fight of crime. But crime is a very complex social yield. It is not a straight line solution. And too many of us sit in the comfort of our homes, on our social media, in our armchairs, and prescribe solutions. And it's not that easy.
The Premier says first things first, residents must, while not obliged to accept, remain realistic to the fact that crime will occur.
And we don't live in a world where we'll not have crime. And I think we have to accept the fact that with development comes antisocial behavior and guilt, and worse so when the development is rapid, as it has been in our case.
In the last month, there have been countless instances of crime toward residents and tourists, not to mention gun crime that stunted the community of 5 Keys 3 weeks ago. He says, as with many other issues, immigration is a big part of the problem.
We have to take responsibility for ourselves. Because the truth of the matter is, a lot of these young men, some of them have both Turks and Caicos Island parents, but a lot of our own young men have adopted a lot of these kids and give them their name because for marriages of convenience. There are too many of our people in this country, whether it be in this particular matter or whether it be immigration or customs or planning or whatever, there are too many of our people selling our birthright for a bowl of porridge. And that is a big part of the problem.
Mizik says, make no mistake, funds and resources are being invested. He mentions the undertaking of consultations and guidance on a code of conduct and best practices for security companies and training for all aspects of security jobs, noting that while these officers are not police officers, they play a major role and can become an effective part in the fight against crime. He went ahead to also advise villa owners to ensure that effective security measures are implemented so as to protect their guests following a gruesome, senseless attack of a tourist in the Bight a few weeks ago.
On Friday, April 22nd, Graceway Communities hosted their second annual Earth Day event at Graceway IGA. Take a look.
It is Earth Day, a time set aside to celebrate Earth, learn about the environment, and promote conservation. This is the moment to change it all, the business climate, the political climate, and how we take action on climate. Now is the time for the unstoppable courage to preserve and protect our health, our families, and our livelihoods.
Watkin then explained that now is the time to make a difference.
There are several ways you can do this, including limiting the amount of energy you use, using eco-friendly products, and even changing your diet. For Earth Day 2022, we need to act boldly, innovate, and implement. It's going to take all of us, all in business, government, and citizens.
Standing on their commitment to protecting and preserving our beautiful by nature Turks and Caicos, Dr. Dalla Higgs from the National Trust shared her feelings of elation on behalf of the National Trust being selected by Graceway Communities as their charity of choice for donation.
At the Turks and Caicos National Trust, we are responsible for protecting, for preserving and conserving our earth here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. This is our small part of the planet, and we are tasked with protecting it and conserving and preserving it for our future generation. And that's why I'm so excited when the Graceway Supermarkets and they called us and said that they would honor us and what we're doing in terms of taking care of protecting our environment, protecting our heritage, protecting our culture, and the work that we do at the Turks and Caicos National Trust.
Honorable Josephine Connolly, Minister of Tourism, was present at the Earth Day event, sharing the importance of climate change and its awareness.
Today is a good day. Today is the day when we are made aware of climate change. And as you know, climate change is real, and we have to do the necessary mechanisms in place so that we can curb what is going on here in our country. As you know, we are a low-lying island, and we are susceptible to floods and high seas. So today, I launched the first Climate Change Summit Conference at the Shore Club. It was very well attended. And what we did is we launched our charter, Climate Change Charter, and that charter is a guideline for us to mitigate what is happening here in our country.
We understand that at Graceway, they believe in environmental sustainability as well as spreading awareness, which is why they engaged the future in an art competition, which was open to all children 6 to 9 years old of the Turks and Caicos Islands. To encourage young artists to have confidence in their skills, Graceway Supermarkets came up with a few prizes which will come in handy for art class.
First prize winner of the Arts Competition 2022, Safeguarding the Wetlands of the Turks and Caicos Islands, is Chanel Mizik from Mills Institute. And Chanel won an iPad, art supplies, $500 gift certificate for her school, $250 gift certificate for her. Her art will be on our reusable limited bags and displayed on our ad boards. So Chanel, she will receive a gift from Mrs. Jill Jean Grace. She's here to present her with her prize.
Don't go anywhere. More News Watch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. The latest sitting of the House of Assembly revealed a number of new projects and initiatives by the various ministries. Here's a look at some new developments from that sitting.
Social welfare, health care, the civil service, housing, immigration, security defenses, fuel, and customs are just a few of the entities all expected to benefit from the latest budget allocations. As the Minister of Finance says, while there isn't much he can do about the onset and effects of the global inflation, he and his government will do all they can to make life comfortable for the people of these islands.
Like the rest of the world, Mr. Speaker, our country is experiencing an increase in inflation caused by the global supply chain and the fallout from the war between Russia and Ukraine. To mitigate the impact of these economic shocks on our people, our government has provided $15 million in direct assistance through reductions in the fuel tax and customs processing fees. It is our hope that this relief will ease the burden on citizens and residents alike.
Minister of Finance Honorable E.J. Saunders says these measures will in no way prevent actual inflation. However, they are expected to help.
I want the public to know that these measures aren't designed to reverse the increase in cost in those areas. And then no country is able to do that. That's the reason why in the United States, people will say prices are continuing to go up when they talk about the prices at the pump. And we wouldn't have the ability to make prices cheaper than what they are today. But what these measures are designed to do is to reduce the impact, cushion the impact of the increase. That without these measures, the increase would have been higher.
Since the year rang in, consumers have witnessed the rapid inflation, which began with a spike in fuel, followed by just about everything else, from groceries to household products, even services.
A person shouldn't expect that they will see items to be cheaper than they were before, but certainly not as expensive as they would have been if we didn't. So these measures are being put into place to cushion the impact of the increase in the cost of living. It doesn't mean that you won't see rises. It just means that it won't be as high if the government didn't take action.
TradingEconomics.com reported that the annual inflation rate in the U.S. has accelerated to 7.9% in February of this year and is the highest it's been since the 1980s. Not so good news for the TCI, who receives most of its personal and retail items from U.S. companies.
Gearing up to celebrate the fulfillment of its 10,000 tree planting committee, the Sandals Foundation is expanding its conservation goal by adding another 10,000 trees to strengthen the Caribbean's climate resilience and food security. Here's more. The massive conservation effort is in keeping with this year's Global Earth Day theme, Invest in Our Planet, and builds on the Foundation's larger Caribbean tree planting project commitment, which is being coordinated by the Caribbean Philanthropic Alliance in collaboration with the Trees That Feed Foundation, the Clinton Global Initiative, and other partners. Last April, the teams together announced plans to plant 1 million trees across 14 Caribbean countries by June this year. Now, with over 9,600 ornamental and food-bearing trees already planted by the Sandal Foundation and its partners, the philanthropic arm of Sandals Resorts International is increasing the stakes. Heidi Clark, executive director of Sandals Foundation, said, quote, "The environment around us is not only our home, but everything that keeps us alive." She continued, "Investing in the long-term viability of these natural environments will help to strengthen the many ecosystems that are critical for providing food, water, and protecting our communities and livelihoods, improving the way of life in the region for locals and tourists alike to enjoy." End quote. We gather that team members from Sandals and Beaches Resorts have also rolled up their sleeves and, together with representatives from the Forestry Department and the Mustard Seed community in Jamaica, have planted almost 200 food-bearing trees in communities with plans to plant 600 more by June. The careful management of invasive species is also a key component in the philanthropic arm's conservation effort. In the Bahamas, Sandals Foundation ambassadors, along with the Bahamas National Trust, are set to remove invasive species and plant some 1,000 trees in the Lucayan National Park. Through the engagement of student volunteers, the islands will continue its rich tradition of promoting environmental education among its young people, thereby fostering the next generation of environment stewards. The Sandals Foundation reportedly has an extensive record of environmental conservation. Over the past 13 years, the organization has planted over 17,000 fruit and ornamental trees throughout the Caribbean by galvanizing the support of Sandals and Beaches Resorts team members, community groups, partners, travel agents, guests, students, and volunteers. This year, the entity remains committed to increasing forest coverage, protecting wildlife, enhancing biodiversity, creating eco-tours, educating children, and empowering communities to take part in conservation. Don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Coming up next is your Sports Authority and weather forecast.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Here's the latest in your Sports Authority and weather forecast.
The Turks and Caicos Swimming Federation was at the center of a social media frenzy last week. Debate started after Eyewitness News Bahamas reported that the TCSF had allegedly lodged a complaint that barred Lennon Hamilton Jr. from representing the Bahamas in the Carifta Swimming Championships. It left many wondering, why was Lennon Hamilton Jr. unable to compete? Newswatch received a statement from the TCSF, hoping to shed light on Lennon Hamilton Jr.'s inability to compete at this year's Carifta Games. The Federation claims that they were also unaware of his father's intention of having the former TCI athlete represent the Bahamas at the Carifta Games until the Carifta site sheets listed him as a member of the Bahamian national team. TCSF added that a standard authorized conditional letter was apparently sent to Lennon Sr. However, the offer was allegedly declined on Saturday, March 5th, with no explanation. These claims were backed by the TCI Sports Commission, who confirmed that Hamilton had made an application to represent the Bahamas at Carifta. TCSF assured Newswatch that the rules about sporting nationality were very clear. They directed us to the Barbados Carifta Meet Summons document and sections 2.5 and 2.6 of the FINA General Rules. According to the guidelines, Lennon Hamilton Jr.'s choice to represent TCI at CCCAN in June of 2021 would render him ineligible for representing any other country for a period of 12 months. This was confirmed in a statement from the TCI Sports Commission. Communication was had between the Turks and Caicos Islands Swimming Federation and the Bahamas Aquatic Federation on the matter, with no resolve between each country's federations. The Barbados Aquatic Sports Association was notified, which subsequently made a ruling that the FINA General Rules 2.5 and 2.6 were violated and withdrew Lennon Hamilton Jr. from the competition. The Federation said, quote, "It was never our intention to create any impeding factors or exclude any eligible swimmer of the Turks and Caicos Islands at the Carifta Championships as shown in our offer letter." The Commission added that the series of events that led to Lennon Jr.'s inability to swim at the Curve to Swim Championships is unfortunate. While national team selection and coordination is the remit of the national federations and not the Turks and Caicos Islands government, TCIG, the TCIG champions a fair playing field for all participants in sports and values a strong positive working relationship with neighboring countries such as the Bahamas. The Commission's press release was produced on the 20th of April, and with much speculation surrounding this incident, the Sports Commission had been awaiting a comprehensive report from TCSF on the matter. We'll bring you more details as they emerge. Reporting for PTV Newswatch, I'm Lee Harvey.
Here's your weather forecast for April 27th, 2022. For the nation's capital, Grand Turk, on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, high 78, low 74, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For South Caicos, mostly sunny skies, high 78, low 74, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 73, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Key, mostly sunny skies, high 78, low 73, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And on Providenciales, mostly sunny skies, high 78, low 73, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:21 a.m., sunset 7:14 p.m., and for your high tides and low tides, high tides 6 a.m., 6:27 p.m., and low tides 12:12 a.m., 12:12 p.m. And that's it for your weather forecast. We'll be right back with more Newswatch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Yesterday, RBC announced donations to 8 Caribbean conservation charities in recognition of Earth Day 2022. Here's more. Earth Day is a globally recognized opportunity to demonstrate support to protect and preserve the environment. In addition to the donations totaling $4,000, RBC also shared that it will be introducing green energy financing to support businesses interested in purchasing and installing renewable energy systems. Chris Ronald, head of Caribbean Banking, said, quote, "Climate change connects us all, and tackling climate change involves us all." He added, RBC believes how we get there is just as important as the destination. Getting this transition right will not be easy, but we must move forward together with thoughtful action. End quote. RBC is proud of a long history of strategic partnerships, donations, sponsorship initiatives, and employee volunteerism to support organizations, academic institutions, and nonprofit groups in the Caribbean. Driven by their purpose to help clients thrive and communities prosper, RBC selected the following conservation charities to support the work they do to build a more sustainable future. First on the list is Aruba's National Park Foundation, the Bahamas National Trust, Barbados's Eco Rebel Barbados, Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Earth Week events, Curacao Fundación Curso Limpi Bonita, St. Martin's Nature Foundation, Trinidad and Tobago's Grand Rivery Nature Association, and finally our very own Turks and Caicos Islands National Trust. To celebrate Earth Day 2022 and to reinforce RBC's commitment to environmental sustainability, the bank also launched an internal campaign designed to help employees learn, act, share, and build conservation consciousness. The program allows employees to engage in different activities that build environmental awareness, with a chance to earn community rewards that can be donated to an eligible charity of their choice. And that brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course, you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. and tap into our social media platforms at www.ptv8tci.com. I'm Erica Penales, keeping you informed, updated, and affiliated. Until next time.